So there's a bone that rides on the collarbone there. You stick that in, and then once you get down to here, you'll find that there's something kind of in the way. Just use the fish's head to there. You just gotta kind of twist it down and get it down in there, and that's that side done. You don't want to rip any of this, or won't stay good for very long. That's the head, and now do the collar. There's a membrane here that attaches the gill to the collar. You just gotta cut that membrane all the way up to the chin. Getting ahead of myself. See the membrane, you just gotta pull up the gills. Make sure you just use the tip of your knife so you're not cutting into the liver, because the liver is right in behind there. And once you've got the membrane cut, then you just gotta remove the collar. Now you can remove the collar, meeting up with that cut there. When I'm out on the lake, I'll just pull the gills right out. And it pulls out the intestines. This is my gut board. I use this for guts. That's my clean board. Smell your guts to make sure they're okay. And then you can remove the collar on the other side. I didn't show you, but on the collar here, you'll see it comes up there. you just take your knife and you put it in the cut. Just down towards there, and that's your collar. Now, you to deal with your collar, you just take a knife like that. You're not trying to cut it. You just want to break that bone so it lies flat like that. I only broke one bone. There, that's both of them. And then you can, I'm not going to do the whole thing because it takes a minute. But then you can grab the skin and just using your fingernail pulled away from the meat. And once you get enough, you just get your finger in there. It's like pulling the skin off a rabbit. And you want to make sure that, you know, it's cut all the way down to the bone here. And you want to put your thumb there so that it doesn't break up there like it did. You want it to break at the base of the head. And then to get your cheek, you follow that outline there, and you don't put your knife all the way in. You're just trying to cut through the skin. And then once you make your cut, you run your finger hard, pushing into the bone and dirt. Just all along. Don't use your knife, use your finger. And then once you got it, then you just peel that right off. And if you catch 10 of them, that's actually a good bit of meat. So I'll show you. Now getting on to the flaying of the actual flaying. So I like to enter in here, and you'll see that there's a bit of cartilage there that runs from here like that along there. So I like to make my entry on just one side and work down to the tail, only putting a bit of my knife in. I'll only show one side on the camera for the sake of time. Then, yeah, you just want to run down the backbone until you get all the way to your tail. All the way to your spine. And then you work over the spine. You don't want to be too quick here because there's lots of meat that you can miss if you just rush it. So once once you get to your spine and once you've worked on the one side, then you just run it along, cut that membrane, and then angle your knife back down towards the backbone, kinda. And now, once you got that established, make your initial cut, then cut in at a downward angle onto the bone, not cutting through the bone, just trying to ride right over it so you don't miss any of that meat. All the way down to the spine. Then once you've got all the way down to the spine, you have to start working around the ribs. Make sure on the front here that your knife's sticking out and you have it at an angle so that you're able to catch those front ribs. Making sure to open it up all the way so when you're pulling the meat to be able to look, you're not ripping it. If you rip the meat, you can't store it for as long. And then once you're almost done, I like to grip the rib. I like to grip the rib so that because it turns in on itself like that, that makes it hard to cut. There you go. Now if you see the ribs on these, they go down pretty far into the meat. And if you look there, they come up kinda, so you gotta keep that in mind when you're cutting them. And that's some thick meat there that you lose out on, but that's that. So on to getting the skin off. You just start there, you make your cut. You want to use a long knife. You don't want to use a short knife because your this board isn't stable. And you just kind of at your best, you want to keep the knife flat and stable. Just work it down the fish. You know, you don't want to. This is where I'll lose a lot of my meat because I don't keep my knife at the right angle, and then it'll cut up into my fillet and I lose a bit of meat on the skin. I don't take out the pin bones, I just eat them. And there you go.